What is up, traders? Happy Monday morning. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, I know it's been a while, but I can explain. I've had some issues with my broker and I took some time off trading. I don't want to go into too much depth. I will cover that in the next following videos. So today let's get into some stocks. Let's talk about the trades that I took today. Let's talk about some stocks and let's get straight into it. So this morning, as you can see, my setup has changed dramatically from before. I've dropped down to penny stocks. As you may know me, I used to trade penny stocks, but you know, I've gathered something else. It's been a while. I've been working on something, and here it is. So this is my style. This is my style. It suits me better trading these type of price stocks, as you can see on my screen. These are my watch list every single day. They just suit my personality much better. I'm going to show you guys today's watch list and what the trades did, and that's it really. So let's get straight into it again. So this morning the SPY was gapping up. As you can see, everything on my watch list around here is basically running with what the SPY is doing, the S&P. So this morning, on my watch list, I had obviously all of these. So we're gonna go trade by trade and talk about each and every trade and what they did and why they did it. So as you can see, down here, AMD was my trade. I only took one trade today. So that was, I'm gonna bring up AMD right in here. So this was this morning. As you can see, previous day yesterday, previous day closed 1938. This morning was gapping up. I'm gonna bring up my pen. As you can see, the gap. One second, guys. So this was the gap in here. This was yesterday's late day price data. Okay, so we had a gap from here all the way up in this area. Okay, gapping up around 70 cents. So at the open, as you saw, first 2 minutes, as you can see, I only traded 2-minute bars. AMD was just pure buying at the open, right? This big green candle in here, this big green bar. So next bar opens up and just starts to collapse straight away. As soon as I see this weakness, okay, I got short right in here. And as you saw, we, for a second, we brief pause, came back up to fill some more orders short in here, and then it just collapsed. Okay, so I took 500 shares in here short, 250 added, and basically I got out right in here. Okay, some of you asking, why did you get out there? Okay, so this is the gap up, guys. Halfway of the gap. This is the 50% retracement mark. Okay, and as you saw, there was a bounce in here. Okay, so anything below this, you're shorting into major support. Can you see the 20 moving average and the 200 below it, and yesterday's late day price data in here? This is all support. Okay, so you gotta know where you are on the chart when you're shorting these. You don't want to be shorting in here. I mean, it did work out, but down the road, these are very risky to short. Okay, and they're not going to be consistent shorting into support. All right, so that was my trade on AMD, my first trade. Let's talk about the others. I'm going to start from the top, JD. So as you can see, a clean gap on JD. Above yesterday's late day price data. It wasn't yesterday, on Fridays, excuse me. Gapping up above the 20, 200. Okay, so first 2-minute big bar, buying long in here, which I didn't take, and cover up on the way up, pull back, so towards new heights. Okay, So that was JD. Next up we had Twitter. So Twitter was also a gapper. Problem with this is, this was just around the 200 moving average. Okay, so this is an area. Okay, and when it's typically in this area, stocks tend to be a bit wild. Okay, not necessarily all the time, but I try to avoid these, and especially when they're in the trap zone. So between this 20 and 200, this is called the trap zone in here. So, trading these while they're in this zone, very risky. I'll try to avoid them. Although Twitter, kind of gradually went up throughout the day. That was Twitter. Then we had SQ. So as you can see, tail bar, opening bar. Quick test towards new highs, big failure. This big wick, as you can see. Excuse me. So this wick here played a part, and we did get that drop, and that drop was almost 50% of the actual gap. Can you see that? Friday's closing price, today's opening price 50%, and then we had a big bounce. Okay, do not ever short in here. Today's lesson: don't short into support. The 20s moving up, the 200 is moving up. And you got Friday's late data. Okay, SQ, PayPal, same thing, above the 200. This was decent setup, but this was gapping up quite a bit for my likings to try and buy this. As you can see, it tested exactly the 200 right in here, and then boom to new highs. Yeah, so that was PayPal. How HAL again at the 200s, no trades there. AMD, the one I just spoke about. This was just a beautiful trade, amazing short. At one point, most people, I don't know, some people are trying to buy this pullback for a new high, but you gotta understand how these stocks move, guys. Okay, so that was AMD, sorry. QCOM, same thing. Lots of support, guys. Lots of support. Gap up. You see where this tested these dual wicks, roughly 50% of the actual gap, and boom towards new highs. S-Box again. This was very wild at the open. Don't know what's going on. I traded kind of light in volume right at the open. And then we had this MU. I was really surprised with this. As you can see, first 2-minute bar, huge selling at the open. Okay, problem is with this, it just went nuts. It almost filled the gap right at the open. And shorting these in here is very risky. So again, shorting into a 220 and Friday's data. Although it just continued, which was I was kind of surprised about, but that's fine. If this big red bar was up here somewhere in the 38 something and this happened, then you've got a short on your hands. Okay. And then X, again, a bit wild, just like Starbucks at the open, no volume, in the trap zone. Momo, this was interesting. This one did similar things to what MU did, big bar, and just had good follow up basically. And here are my high price stocks, of $100. Barber, gapping up also, didn't really present us with any opportunity. Microsoft also gapping up kind of big, 2 points, continued on the way up. Facebook also the 200. Can you see how it found some support in the 200 area? Can you see this? And then continued higher. And then Apple. So this one was interesting. I'll explain to you why. Yeah, Friday's late day price data. Okay, gapping up. Excuse me, I don't know why these colors keep changing. So this is the gap up. Okay, open price draw in your gaps, okay? Halfway point roughly here was an area. And as you can see, this first 2 minutes popped up, failed, and a bear 180. Some of you might not know what bear 180 is, some of you will. It's when you get a green bar and then immediately followed up by a big red bar that takes out the low and finishes below it. That was an apple. It could have taken a nice short in here and cover up towards the 50% of the actual gap, the gap concept. And then what happens after that? We get a big bounce towards new highs and then fell. Okay, so gotta be wary. Short this, you know, you're gonna find some support in the 200. You gotta know your areas. That the 200 just right below you to be shorting this, but you had space. Okay, Apple had space to drop. Do you see that? Whereas, what else? It's another good example. That's, I think it was QCOM. Yeah, have a look at QCOM. Shorting this QCOM in here is a problem. Why? Because you're shorting right into that area of support. Can you see these double tails? Okay, know your areas. So that was it really today. First day back. Today is Monday. It's gonna be an interesting week this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you found it very informative. If you've got any questions, just leave them in the comments below. And I will see you guys soon.